There's a very famous tour. What's a tour? I don't mean. So I don't mean a like a guide that takes you around the place. Okay, that's a Tour. But there's a very famous tour. Who's the tour? Anybody?
Some rabbi.
Some rabbi. Interesting answer.
It's not the Ramah?
Sure.
It was a different guy.
No, not the Ramah. It was a different rabbi. He wasn't a guy. What did you say? The Ramah? No, not.
The Tour Shulchan Aruch.
Tour Shulchan Aruch. The tour is the before. The tour, the Abba Turim. Rabbi Yaakov ben Asher. He wrote the Baal HaTurim, the Pirush on Chumash. Okay. True or false? The Baal HaTurim and the Torah are the same person.
True.
True?
You just said that.
Okay. What do you say?
True.
True?
True.
I wanted somebody to say false, and I'd say you're wrong. Okay, yes, I did say that, yes. It's the same person. It's the same person. No, because it has to be Baal HaTurim. The person who wrote the Torah.
What was his real name?
I'll tell you one. Let me finish my point. Baal HaTurim. The one that wrote the Torah. So obviously he's the Torah. Baal HaTurim, the one that wrote the Torah. His name was Rabbi Yaakov ben Asher. His friends probably called him Jack or Jakey probably, but Jay.
Shortest possible.
Yeah, one of my favorite people calls her husband Jay. Right. Okay, so what did you say?
Nothing.
Okay, so I pushed it, didn't hear what it was. Okay, Mr. Landersman, let's go on now. Okay, so the Torah tells us, Yaakov ben Asher, the Torah, the preparatory to the Shulchan Aruch. The Beis Yosef, the Shulchan Aruch, wrote his Pirush on the Torah. The Torah is in the middle, Torah. Then all these commentators, they wrote all the Shulchan Aruch. Then the Beis Yosef decided, hey, why don't I just make my own book? That's how the Shulchan Aruch became. Yeah. Originally, it was a Pirush on the Torah. The Darkei Moshe, the Ramah, also a Pirush. And then they said, hey, why should I play second fiddle? I'll make my own book, right? So I assume, like Max is going to do. Max is like, why am I listening to Garfinkel Darshan? I'll give my own drushes. I'll be more than happy if you do that. If you graduate from this year and you go on and you give your own drushes. Okay, so the Torah tells us something very interesting. You might have heard this before. It's fascinating. So for my YouTube viewers, it's a fascinating idea for those who never heard this before. It's this really fascinating Torah. The Torah asks the very obvious question, which you might be wondering yourself. All my Hasidim here, Talmidim at the class, and the thousands of YouTube viewers, or probably at least one of you are wondering this question. I don't understand. When do we celebrate the Yom Tov of Sukkos? Anybody?
After Yom Kippur.
After Yom Kippur, but precisely in what month?
The rainy season. Tishrei.
In Tishrei. What day?
15th.
The 15th of Tishrei. Now, I read before in the last year, for those who weren't at the last year, I don't blame you for not asking this question because you weren't there. But for those who were at the last year, we said that the mitzvah of Sukkah is a reverence to either the huts or the clouds of glory that surrounded the Jewish people when they left Mitzrayim, when they left Egypt.
Springtime.
Now, so what do you see? That the mitzvah of Sukkah is connected with Yetzias Mitzrayim, with the exodus from Egypt. We celebrate what happened when the Jewish people left Egypt, the Yetzias Mitzrayim, the exodus from Egypt. Not merely the exodus, not the actually going out, but what happened afterwards. But it's connected to Egypt, to the exodus from Egypt. So really, it should be a continuation of the Yom Tov of Pesach, or maybe it should be another Yom Tov, another holiday to celebrate what happened when they left Egypt, that time when they were in the wilderness. But not 6 months later. Why is it in Tishrei? It should be in Nisan, or at least closer to Nisan, not 6 months later. That has nothing to do with Mitzrayim. Anybody ever wondered that?
Yeah.
Either Shita, and don't tell me we go like the other one. No, either one. Either if it's Sukkos Mamish, or if it's an Anei HaKavod. That was, again, the Torah links the mitzvah of Sukkah with Yetzias Mitzrayim. L'man yedu dorasechem, so that the generation should know, ki b'Sukkos hashavtis b'nei Yisrael, because I put the Jewish people in booths, or in Anei HaKavod, clouds of glory, when I took them out of Egypt. So clearly the Torah puts together the mitzvah of Sukkah with Yetzias Mitzrayim, with the exodus from Egypt. So why is Sukkos time, it does of Tishrei, it should really be connected with the Mitzrayim with Pesach. The famous tours. Okay, so we're going to get to the answer. Very good.
Well, I've heard this question before.
Okay.
I've seen this question.
Very famous question.
Yeah.
And we're going to say the very famous answer from the tour. The tour says, very simple.
Probably have a video on this already.
Do we have a video on this?
From last time.
Oh, maybe we spoke out the tour. Says the tour. Even though we were taken out of Mitzrayim during the month of Nisan, we were not commanded to make the sukkah during that time. Because that is during the springtime. Summer, springtime. And it's normal for a person to go outside and make picnics, right? You have a shed, not shed, a deck, and you have a little, what's it called?
Thing over it?
Yeah, thing over it, yeah. What's it called?
What are you trying to describe?
Well, if you were paying attention a minute ago, then you'd know what I was trying to describe.
Oh, yeah, you're trying to describe a tent.
Yeah, as I'm looking for a tent. When you go ahead and you make sukkahs in your backyard. Yeah.
Like make a barbecue on your deck.
Yeah. You make parties.
Summer.
You have like an outside residence, a Florida home, right?
It's covered by the rain.
Yeah, so that's when you do it. When do people make sukkahs? During the summer, during the springtime. That's when you make these outdoor parties, right? Yep. Not, and your outdoor residences, camping and all that stuff. People don't go camping in the winter. They go camping in the summer. That's when people do it. So, lo haisini keres, it wouldn't be nicker, it wouldn't be clear that you're making the sukkah for a mitzvah, because Hashem commanded us to do it. Okay? Lo haisini keres, asiyaso behem shehim b'mitzvahs haborei yisbarach. It would not be clear, not just for other people. Don't ask me this kasha. Oh, what do we care about other people? It's for the man himself, not just for other people. Oh, what will the Joneses say? No, what will Landersmen say? What will Garfinkel say? It's for the person himself, that they should know that the reason why we do this is not because we enjoy having outdoor parties, but because the Torah said to make sukkahs. So if you would do it during the time when it would be natural to do that, it wouldn't be clear that you're doing it because of the mitzvah. You might do it because that's what everybody else does. Be like the Joneses. Or in the color, be like the Goldsteins or the Schwartzes, right? Okay. That's why we make the sukkah during the 7th month, which is the time of the rain. People don't want to go outside. Don't rain on my parade, right? You don't want to. It's like raining on my wedding day. Anybody? Okay. So Alanis Morissette. Nobody. Okay. It's like raining on my wedding day. Okay, so
I'm too young for that.
Right, I don't even know how I know this even, but so that would be a Shlomo? No, Alanis Morissette? No, okay. So therefore that would be a big problem. You would make all these outdoor activities, and then it would rain. Nobody would do that. So you don't go outside and make parties outside when it's raining, when it's in winter, or. We don't have snow over here in Florida, but Teaneck, they have snow and they have all these terrible winter. Not yet. Okay, you have all these terrible things over there. Nobody would do that. What happens during the winter season? It's a nature of people to go out from their outside parties, and they go and sit in their house. They close up the decks and the outdoor barbecues and the outdoor parties, and they have all their parties inside. What do? We do the opposite. We go outside during the rainy season, during the winter, during the 7th month. And after Yotzim min habayis, we go outside from the house into the sukkah. And this may be shown for everyone, for himself also. Could be even mainly for yourself. The reason why we're doing this is not because we do it because that's the minute, that's what you do. No, we do it because the Torah said to do it, and that's why we do it dafka during the time not connected with Mitzrayim, not connected with Pesach, with the exodus from Egypt. Although Sukkah really commemorates that.
Torah says, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, so although, that was the question, although the reason behind the mitzvah, the Torah says, it's not even the Rishonim, it's not the Sefer Chinuch, that's not rabbis, this is the Torah, puts together the mitzvah of Sukkah with Siyas Mitzrayim, but we don't do it during that time, because we want to show that we're doing it because Hashem said to do it, because it would be natural for a person to do that.
It's kind of convoluted, because if you're expected to do a certain mitzvah, and you're doing it during the rainy season, you won't be able to accomplish your mitzvah because it's raining.
Okay, so we're gonna have a whole share about that, about if it rains during Sukkos. The Gemara says it's the Siman Klala. So what does that mean? We're gonna
Yeah, because they're doing it in that season.
So you're asking a question. Why would the Torah?
Meaning,
what is your question?
it's hard to understand why the Torah would say to do the mitzvah of Sukkah, Dafka, during the rainy. I understand the reason. But like, you're going to be in a situation where you're not going to be able to do the mitzvah because it's raining.
Okay, very good. So you want to know why the Torah set up a mitzvah when it's going to be difficult to do the mitzvah?
I thought we said my Shifa Ruach after Sukkot, like Shmini Atzer, should we start saying it? So we're not,
because that's when we want the rain to start.
Exactly.
Correct.
So it's not a rainy season when it's Sukkot.
It's a rainy season,
we're not asking for rain.
We're still asking for rain. We're still asking for rain after Sukkot.
After Sukkot, not
right?
Sukkot.
Because that's when we want it to start. We don't want the rain during Sukkot. It's still the rainy season. That's my whole point.
It is rainy season.
It's the rainy season. We want it to start raining after Sukkot.
So it's not the rainy season.
Because it is the rainy season. But we want it, let me finish. It's the rainy season. But we don't want it to rain during Sukkot. We want it to rain after Sukkot. Exactly because of Shlomo's point. We don't want it to rain during Sukkot. But it is the rainy season. It's the rainy season. It's not the derech of people to make outside dwellings during that time. Now, I'll answer your question quickly, and then for another share, we'll discuss this at length. That's a very good question about the whole idea if it rains during Sukkot, is it a Siman Klala? Gemara says it's a Siman Klala. But what do you mean? It's a rainy season.
Yep.
So, if you're trying to do a mitzvah and then it doesn't end up happening, so would you say, maybe it's a bad sign, maybe I shouldn't be doing this? No. If it's the type of thing that's the derech that happens, I mean, for example, a guy decides, I'm going to go learn Torah, okay? And he crosses the street, doesn't look, and a car hits him. Well, maybe it's a sign from heaven. I should go back and listen to more Alanis Morissette songs and not learn Torah. No, shaita. If you do something stupid, that's a derech that you're going to get hit. If you don't look at those cars, don't assume it's a Siman Klala. Oh, maybe I shouldn't be doing this, right? So what does the Gemara mean? It's a Siman Klala if it rains during Sukkot. No, like Shmuel said, I thought it's the rainy season. So if it's the rainy season, why is it a Siman Klala if it rains then? It's like the guy who says, maybe God's sending me a message I shouldn't be going to learn. No, if you do something stupid, the derech is that you're going to get injured. It's not a sign that maybe you shouldn't be doing a mitzvah. Maybe that God doesn't want you to do this. No! If you do something that's not the derech, obviously something's going to happen to you. So if it rains during Sukkot, why is Gemara call it a Siman Klala? It's not a Siman Klala, it's a rainy season. It's a rainy season. That's exactly the Torah's point. The Torah's point is that it's a rainy season, and that's B'dafka why we do the mitzvah of Sukkah during this time, because it's the rainy season. Yeah. So that's for another share. So you have two choices. You can stay here and not go back to Teaneck and hear this year live, or you can go back to Teaneck and hear this year on future YouTube shiurim. That is your decision.
It's a no-brainer. Come on, you got to stay now.
Of course, that's what I think.
Tell Rebbe you're not going anywhere.
Regardless of YouTube.
Okay, so
YouTube Live.
just to finish up over here, we got side point with some other questions. They were very good questions. I hope I answered them. But just to finish up the tour, it's probably 10 minutes already.
15.
Okay, so we'll finish up the tour. So that's why we do the mitzvah of Sukkah, Dafka not doing this point, to show that we're doing it because Hashem said it, not because it's the derech to make outside dwelling during this time.